Hey guys, welcome back to Bearded Lumber. Matthew and I appreciate you tuning in. Today we're sawing for some white oak hardwood flooring, and we're going to talk about it. So hang on, we'll be right back. Okay guys, welcome back. Thanks for tuning in. Got a customer job today. This is not Matthew and I's wood. This is customer owned wood. They brought it to me. When they brought the first load, we had a long discussion. It's something you need to make sure you have for your customers. And having a display wall in here is a great thing. When I seen their first load logs, I explained to them what they were going to get in return. You can look at this log and see it's got knots, it's got humps, it's got bumps. This is not going to produce a number one board. It may produce a few, but not many. The purpose of this video is to talk about how we're going to high grade this log and get the best it will give, okay? And the customer is perfectly fine with getting 2s and 3s. They know they're going to get some knots, they know they're going to get some voids, and that's what they want. And I'm tickled to death. It'll be a beautiful floor. It just won't be a high grade number one. But our goal is to make the best 1, 2, and 3 grade boards that we can make for them. Now, doing that is a process. You don't want anything in the cambium layer, and you don't want anything in the heart. So we saw this log. When I saw it, I'm gonna work Matthew to death, unfortunately, because there's a lot of edging. And if it gets too big, you know, we have to put it back up on the mill and edge it. But my goal is, you know, of course, take the bark off and take a couple cuts with the intention of leaving at least a 4x4. And I won't know till I get in here and start cutting towards this heart. And I may end up having to leave a 4x6. Worst case, I may have to leave a 6x6 because this wood is no good for hardwood flooring. It's heartwood. If we were making 1-inch boards to hang on the side of a barn, unless it had a bad heart defect, I'd saw right through it, give it to them, and it'd be all right. But we can't do it on hardwood flooring. Now, we won't waste this. If you look at our pile over here, that pallet is a whole pallet of full dimension 2x4s and 4x4s, because every pallet of wood that leaves out here has got 2 or 3 of those under it. And when it gets on customer's truck, trailer going home, it's got a couple under it. So we eat those like popcorn, so we're always making them. So any of this waste, when I get down here, I'll try to make sure it's at least 4 inches wide. And sometimes I'll take a 2x4 if the heart's real good, but most time at least a 4x4, sometimes a 4x6, just to get it out of the system. This other log here, it looks a little better, but it's got a big cross knot on the end. We got a big pile outside, so Matthew and I spent an hour and a half yesterday with a chainsaw. These come in at random lengths, anywhere from 8 feet to 17 feet. So we went and high graded them. And we talk about high grading. I looked at the log that was, a 12-foot log, and deciding whether we'll cut the head off or the butt off, trying to pick the best part of the log. So let's go out here and see what we got worked up out of the pile. Okay, we're out here in the yard. We've made a mess yesterday. It was getting late. We was trying to get this done. You can see all the pieces. So all these logs just come in random. So now they're all over here in a nice neat pile. Matthew stacked up. They're 8'6" with the exception of one. That's 7 feet. And the reason I kept it, it was a 15-foot log, and I cut an 8'6" and a 7. Because that 7 is probably the best piece of wood here on that they brought. So he'll get some back that's 7-foot long, but it'll probably be the best boards he gets. This is just part of it. Now, you don't do this for free. You have to incorporate that in the cost. They should have high graded these before they brought them to me. Saved me and Matthew an hour and a half's worth of work. I'm glad they didn't, in a way, because it allows me and Matthew to pick the best part of that log. Some of them we cut all one end, some we cut both ends, just trying to get the best we can get. The grain structure looks good in the logs. I know what county they come out of. They've been growing a long time. It should make some quality flooring for its grain, but number ones, you know, it's not going to yield that many. But the 2s and 3s should be very stable wood, good straight grain, and hard. It was chainsaw was, it knew it was cutting some. So you can see our pile we got to get worked through. Customer told me they needed a good 1,200 square feet finished. I hope we got enough. We're gonna saw it and find out. So let's get the mill fired up. Matthew's got us a couple logs loaded up, and think about the process, you know, as we're sawing this, what I'm trying to do. Trying to get the best, and speaking of that, we're wanting a 4-inch floor and a 6-inch floor. Now for us to get that, we're gonna saw a 5-inch board and a 7-inch board, and that gives us an inch in width to shrink off, and I'm gonna saw them 1 1/16 inch thick, and that gives us to 3/4 to get them thinned down. The reason to do that is we've dried enough oak to know that oak does not always dry great. Sometimes you get a little roll, twist, bow, best you can do. A little extra thickness will help us get a good finish, and the extra width, if you get one that takes a bend, and with all these knots, I fully expect a lot of them to take a bow. By having an extra inch in width, but really I need about 6 3/8 to make a true 6-inch finish board. So it gives us a 1/2 inch to take off the first pass through the winding molder planer. We'll S4S it at 6.5. It'll be good and straight, and when we run it tongue and groove, it'll be laser straight. So let's get to it. Okay guys, Matthew brought up a good point. Why am I sawing this at 1 1/16 inch thick when I told you this big batch of red oak we sawed at 1 1/4 inch? And there is a good reason why. This pile of wood belongs to me. I supplied the log, Matthew and I did the work, and customers buying the end product. And they're paying a good price for it, and they deserve the best that we can get. And adding that little 1/16 ensures a peace of mind to me that we've got enough square footage to fill their needs with good quality boards. Now, this customer over here, this is their logs, and they understand the quality they're going to get back out of them. This customer is expecting 75 to 80% number ones. This customer understands that they're going to get 75% or more of 2s and 3s. So there is a difference, and there's a reason. And this guy's log pile may not be quite big enough to yield what he wants, so that extra 1/16 of an inch will give us a few more boards over all these logs to help fill his needs. If we run a little short, I got some white oak, you know, we can fill up the gap for him. But that's why. Matthew just brought it up, and I want to clear that up. So let's get everything fired up, and we're gonna start making this. Get some boards laid out here. Maybe we'll stop and show you what I mean when we're talking about a 2 and a 3 versus a number 1. So we'll be right back. Okay guys, we got through that first log. It was better and worse than expected. If you look over here on the sawmill, I got exactly what I was intending. A 4x4 and a 2x4 out of the heart. There's nothing there. That's just garbage. That wouldn't even make a good board. That heart was rotting. Now, we'll get Matthew over here to hold the camera. We'll try to get a close-up look at what's good, what's bad. Now this wood's wet. It's real wet. But if you look, it's got some beautiful medullary grains in it, but it's also got some deterioration. This is just from being wet. It should dry out okay. These knots are acceptable. They'll stay good and hard. All of these, this is what I'm talking about being a number 2. It's got knots that are tight and they won't come loose. That's a good number 2. No, this goes 3 to 4 where you got intrusions, you got holes. Now this is almost garbage, but we kept it because from here down is a pretty good board. And from here back is a pretty good board, and we're trying to maximize, and it's a beautiful board. There's nothing wrong with that, other than that little bit of rot. We'll dry it, and you know, they'll get, what is that, 5 feet of the use of that? Yeah, five good feet of a 6-inch board is beautiful. But none of these, you know, from here back is what you call a number 1. No knots, no nothing, it's beautiful. All these hard knots are good number 2s. I'm pleased with it. I think it'll make a pretty floor. It's gonna have some unique color because it was starting to deteriorate. It's almost going into a spalting. We've covered that and what happens when you age your wood, and you know, white oak will change colors. So anything to add on that, Matthew? I mean, it's now Matthew called this dieback. That's where the knot on the tree the limb rotted, and then it's starting to rot itself back towards the heart. That's what caused that. But we're gonna manage. We're gonna make the best we can for the customer. And this is what they wanted. They wanted this look. So I'm tickled to death. I hope the rest of them are just this good. We may have enough to do it. You seen that pile of logs? We got a lot of them to do. So we're gonna, unfortunately, put you on a quick time lapse, and we're gonna run through here. If we see something real interesting, we'll stop and talk about it. Other than that, we've got to get this work done. So hang on, let's get to it. Okay guys, we got our first stack done behind me. 472 board feet. Now I went ahead and figured the yield on it, because we're cutting it at 1 1/8 by 7, but finished product's gonna be 3/4 by 1. Figure square footage versus board feet, I just figured at 1 inch by 6. That yields 360 square feet out of 1,200. So we got a ways to go. Plus we had another about 75 board feet once it's cut into 1x4s or the 5-inch boards. So we're getting closer. That's about 430 board feet. I will say the 5 or 6 logs we saw yielded much better than anticipated as far as the quality. A lot of almost number 1s, a lot of real good number 2s, and very few number 3s. So I'm extremely pleased. I hope the rest of them look as good. So right now we got to pick up this little bundle, and Matthew's gonna come in and get this big stack out of the way so we can start sawing some more. We'll be right back. Okay guys, welcome back. We got busy and finished this rest of this order without you. I will say, from looking at that pile of logs that we started with, this turned out much better than expected. There's a lot higher grade stuff than I was anticipating getting. There's still a lot of 2s and 3s, but they were a lot more good 1s and very good 2s. So as you can see behind me, we got 3 bundles. Customer wanted 1,200 linear or 1,200 square feet. We got done. We come up a little short. I figured it time we, cut it to 3/4 and 6, 4 and 6/8 wides. I come up with about 1,050 board feet or square feet. So we're gonna be a little short, but I got some white oak over here that it's already run and dried. Actually been to S4S once already. We're just going to add 150, 200 feet to it when it comes out of the kiln and make up the difference. And they were fine with that. They could have brought me another log, but we're in a time crunch. And I told them that. I said, it's going in the kiln today. This is it. Because after this run, it might be a couple months before we run hardwood again. So it's got to go in now. It takes time sawing this. I mean, the board footage, I don't know, with oak, it just seems like it takes forever to add up. The saw's slow, the edging's slow, the boards are heavy. It just takes time to go through it. Here comes Vader this morning, checking in. So, anything we're missing on this, Matthew? The next video, we're gonna do a full kiln run because I've got these 3 bundles for this customer. There's 4.5 bundles over there, and there's 1 more sitting in the shop for another customer. It's gonna be a full kiln run. So we'll go start to finish on it, try to do maybe a weekly update, show you how the process runs, but that'll be in the next video. This one was all about sawing this oak, trying to high grade it. You do waste a lot of material, because it's unlike just sawing 1x10s or 1x8s, whatever. We're trying to high grade, get the best boards. We get down to the heart, whether it's a 4x4, 4x6, even a 6x6. chunk of heart that's bad, you just can't make good flooring boards out of that. So we ended up making a lot of 4x4s and 2x4s that we'll use for dunnage. You can see every stack here has got, there's 2 2x4s, there's a 4x4. We use a mountain of dunnage, and you will too. So don't waste it. Just cut it down to a nominal dimension, chop it up into appropriate lengths, and keep it. We got a pallet over there that's gotten head high, so we're caught up for now. We won't be sawing any more 4x4s for a while. Excuse me. I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you learned something. I don't tell you that what I do is always the best way, the right way, the correct way. Just bear in mind, it's my way. It's Matthew's way. It's the way we do it. Best practices we've learned over the years. You can take what I tell you and try it at your site, see if it works for you, modify it. A lot of what I've learned, I learned from other sawyers, took some of their ideas, melded them with mine, and, come up with best practices. I never stand here and tell you that my way is the only way. That's not right. We're here to tell you how we do it, and I tell you how we do it with confidence because we've done enough of it. I feel confident that what we do works, but you do what works best for you. As always, big shout out to Matthew and Solomon doing our videos. Really appreciate it. Check out Solomon's channel, Third Beard Fishing. If you don't know by now, our merchandise website is up finally. We're still getting the hang on the shipping part of it, but we're getting there. You can find us at beardedlumbernc.com. Currently, all we have is our hats for sale. Hope to have some stickers up there soon. Depending on how things go, we might do some t-shirts. We'll see. Whatever you guys are interested in, I would like to have the ability to sell some small pieces of wood one day, but that's down the road in the future. But like I say, big shout out to Matthew and Solomon and my daughter Erica. She helped get her, she did. She got her website up and running. And we can't forget about Joe Maine, Wood Mizer. Great people, great company. If you need anything, give Joe a call. His comments, his information will be in the description below. That's going to do it, guys. Appreciate you watching. Hope we've earned you a subscription. If you would, like, subscribe, and share. And we'll see you back at the mill.
Thank you for watching. Here's a video selection and a playlist suggestion. Click here to subscribe for more great content. We'll see you at the mill.